Hello everyone and welcome back to Csec English with Ms.Skeene. In today's video, we will be looking at the Csec English A Paper 1, January 2011. Stay tuned. Items 1 to 5. Instructions. Each sentence has either one or two words missing. Choose from the four options the word or pair of words which best completes the meaning of the sentence. Mark your choice on the answer sheet. Item 1. Though the boy's misdeeds were well known, the dash parent refused to punish his son. If you have a child who misbehaves and you refuse to punish him or her, then you are a lenient parent. Item 2. To conceal his true activities, the spy quickly dashed a plausible excuse for his presence there. The answer options are A. Fabricated, B. Divulged, C. Explained, D. Disguised. The word fabricate means to invent or make up something in order to deceive. Divulged means to reveal. Explained means to clarify, and disguised means to conceal or hide. Based on the context of this sentence, our answer will be A. Fabricated. So, to conceal his true activities, the spy quickly fabricated a plausible excuse for his presence there. Item 3. He dashed the invitation to the party when he remembered the examination for which he had to dash. The answer options are A. Accepted and invigilate, B. Refused and assist, C. Declined and prepare, D. Acknowledged and researched. The answer is C. Declined and prepare. E. Declined the invitation to the party when he remembered the examination for which he had to prepare. Item 4. Some children, although health conscious, are usually dash to dash diseases. The answer options are A. Inclined and fatal, B. Immune and incurable, C. Susceptible and infectious, D. Indifferent and contagious. The answer is C. Susceptible and infectious. Some children, although health conscious, are usually susceptible to infectious diseases. Item 5. The new owners will be asked to carry out the plan as far as possible and will be expected to dash the policy of cost reduction approved by the board. The answer options are A. Adapt, B. State, C. Develop, and D. Implement. Adapt means to modify or alter. State means to reveal, develop means to form, and implement means to apply or execute. So based on these definitions, the answer is D. Implement. Items 6 to 10. Instructions. Each sentence is followed by 4 sentences. Choose the one nearest in meaning to the original sentence. Be sure to read all 4 choices before you select your answer, and then mark your choice on the answer sheet. Item 6. After the football match that Trinity High School won, there was much jubilation among supporters, but a dozen fans were injured. The answer options are A. A dozen fans were injured during the celebrations after Trinity High School won the football match. B. Trinity High School won the football match, but a dozen fans were injured during the chaos that followed. C. Although Trinity High School won the football match, jubilant fans injured a dozen supporters. D. Trinity High School won the football match, causing jubilant supporters to injure a dozen fans. Now let us try to find the equivalent. This is a compound complex sentence which expresses ideas in 3 clauses. The first clause begins with the preposition after, which sets up the rest of the sentence for a later time. The second clause is the dependent clause, and it tells us that the supporters were joyful for the win. The third clause creates a contrast as it begins with the coordinating conjunction but. This suggests that something negative happened. A dozen fans were injured. So there are 3 ideas we are looking for. Option A has 3 ideas. 1. A dozen fans were injured. 2. During the celebrations. And 3. After Trinity High School won the match. This option seems like the answer, but we have to go through all the answer options before we select our answer. Option B has 3 points as well. 1. Trinity High School won the football match. 2. But a dozen fans were injured. And 3. During the chaos. The original sentence made mention of celebrations and not chaos, so this option is not correct. Option C has 2 points. Although Trinity High School won the football match and jubilant fans injured a dozen supporters. The original sentence did not say that jubilant fans injured the supporters. As it relates to option D, the original sentence did not say that the jubilant supporters injured the fans. Therefore, the answer is A. Item 7. The government's newfound wealth, oil, became the salvation of the country's economy. The answer options are A. The economic benefits gained from the new oil discovery enabled the government to save the nation's economy. B. The discovery of the oil by the government added greatly to the profitable mineral resources of the country. C. The oil helped the government to increase its economic benefits to the nation. D. The now rich government enabled the economy to prosper by selling oil to non-producing nations. The sentence states that the government found a new product to save the country's economy. The new product is oil. Option A seems to be the answer because it expresses the same idea as the original. The economic benefits gained from the new oil discovery enabled the government to save the nation's economy. But let us look at the other answer options. Option B does not express the same idea as the original. The original sentence did not talk about profitable mineral resources of the country. For option C, the original sentence did not say the oil was able to increase the economic benefits, but rather to save the economy. As it relates to option D, the original sentence did not say that the government was rich, so the answer is A. Item 8. His books are interesting and provocative. The answer options are A. His books are most exciting. B. His books tend to make the readers angry. C. His books are appealing and stimulate discussion. D. His books are concerned with controversial topics. This is a simple sentence with a compound direct object. So we are looking for three things. 1. His books. 2. Interesting. 3. Provocative. For those of you who don't know, the term provocative is an adjective which means causing anger or another strong reaction. Remember, we are looking for three things: his books, interesting, and provocative. So option A has two ideas. 1, his books, and 2, most excited. This option does not express the idea of being provocative, so this is not the answer. Option B has two ideas as well. It makes mention of his books and makes the readers angry, but it does not express the idea of being interested. Option 3 makes mention of three ideas: his books, appealing, and stimulate discussion. Now, this seems like the answer because it expresses the same idea as the original sentence. Appealing is synonymous with interesting, and also stimulate discussion can be replaced by provocative. Option D could not be the answer because it does not express the idea of being interesting. So our answer is C. Item 9. The West Indies could have won the test match if Laura hadn't fallen ill suddenly. The answer options are A. The West Indies lost the match because Laura was suddenly ill. B. If Laura hadn't suddenly fallen ill, there was a possibility that the West Indies would have won the test match. C. Laura caused the West Indies to lose the test match because he suddenly became ill. D. There was no likelihood that the West Indies would have won the test match if Laura was ill. This sentence is a conditional sentence. It presents a if clause and the consequence. It shows that the only reason the West Indies did not win the test match was because Laura had fallen ill suddenly. Option A does not express the possibility that the West Indies could have won the test match. Option B expresses the same idea as the original sentence. We see the if clause as well as the possibility of the West Indies winning the match. For option C, the original sentence did not say that Laura caused the West Indies to lose the match. Option D is totally different from the original sentence. So our answer is B. If Laura hadn't suddenly fallen ill, there was a possibility that the West Indies would have won the test match. Item 10 is one of the questions that I would have gone through in the June 2019 paper. So if you need a more detailed explanation of how I arrived at the answer, you can go and watch that video. I'll leave the card above. Now, item 10. So engrossed was he in his task that he did not hear his sister enter the room. The answer options are A. His task was so difficult that he did not observe his sister's entry. B. He did not hear his sister enter the room because of the job he was doing. C. His sister's entry did not attract his attention because he was enjoying what he was doing. And D. He was preoccupied with what he was doing, that he was unaware of his sister's entry. And the answer for this one is D. Items 11 to 15. Instructions. Choose the word or phrase that is closest to opposite in meaning to the underlined word or phrase and mark your choice on the answer sheet. Item 11. We found her to be appreciative of the help we have given to her on the matter. The answer options are A. Unhappy about, B. Displeased at, C. Ungrateful for, and D. Intolerant of. If you are not appreciative of, then you are ungrateful for. The answer is C. Item 12. While the employers approved of his work habits, they objected his radical views. The answer options are A. Fashionable, B. Informed, C. Conservative, D. Capitalist. The answer is C. Conservative. Item 13. At the sound of the bell, the lower forms went reluctantly back into their classrooms. The answer options are A. Anxiously, B. Willingly, C. Hurriedly, and D. Punctually. The opposite of reluctantly is willingly. Our answer is B. Item 14. The guest speaker's address was devoid of humor. The answer options are A. Full of, B. Indicative of, C. Presented with, D. Controlled by. Devoid of means lacking, so if the speaker's address was not lacking humor, that means that it was full of humor. Our answer is A. Item 15. As a result of the available evidence, the landlord was apprehended. The answer options are A. Released, B. Evicted, C. Cautioned, D. Summoned. When you are apprehended, it means that you're captured. If you're not captured, then you are released. The answer is A. Items 16 to 20. Instructions. Some of the following sentences are unacceptable because of inappropriate grammar, idiom, or vocabulary. Some sentences are acceptable as they stand. No sentence contains more than one inappropriate element. Select the one underlined part that you feel is inappropriate and choose the appropriate letter A, B, C. If the sentence is acceptable as it stands, choose D. Item 16. He divided the sweets among you and me. Is the error at A. Divided, B. Among, C. Me, or is the sentence error-free? The error is at B. The sentence should read, He divided the sweets between you and me. Item 17. One of the admirable characteristics of the young is that they are not easily scared. Is the error at A. Characteristics, B. Is, C. They are, or is the sentence error-free? The answer is D. The sentence is acceptable as it stands. Item 18. In A House for Mr. Biswas, Nepal shows that how a man may struggle against great odds to achieve those things that he most desires. Is the error at A. That all, B. Against, C. Those things, or is the sentence acceptable as it stands? The error is at A. That all. Item 19. When you are compiling the recurrent expenditure, do you include the breakages? Is the error at A. Compiling, B. Recurrent, C. Expenditure, or is the sentence error-free? The error is at B. Recurrent is spelled R-E-C-U-R-R-E-N-T. Item 20. It is my privilege to give you some advice concerning proper nutrition. Is the error at A. Privilege, B. Advice, C. Nutrition, or is the sentence error-free? The error is at B. The advice that we should be using is spelled A-D-V-I-C-E. It is a noun. That's it for the discrete items. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment down below, and subscribe. See you in the next video.